these stealth missions where you have to do things in a very specific way and you can't get caught and there's alarms and they don't let me save and I'm forced to do it a specific way and I'm not allowed to run around and do the missions the way I want, it absolutely sucks, is something you're never going to hear me say about Star Wars Outlaws. Because even though I'm not a huge fan of the lack of checkpoints in some of the stealth-based missions, she's a smuggler. She's not a soldier. She's not a Jedi. It absolutely plays into the theme of this being an open world game about a smuggler, because that's what a smuggler is. A smuggler is a fast talking, sneaky individual who's doing things a little under the law, going in and doing things off the record if they can, under the table, try not to get caught by the Imperials. This is all in line with everything we've ever seen or known about the smuggler type character in the Star Wars universe, especially if we're talking about the era in which she is located, which is the Empire Strikes Back, leading up to Return of the Jedi. I'm in game right now with Kay, and I'm having an absolute blast. I'm on Tatooine right now. We just finished this planet up. Well, that's not true. We did not finish the planet up. I finished Jabba's Palace mission yesterday, which was an introduction to that. And I saw Han Solo, and we talked to Jabba, and we faced off against a Rancor. And now we've got the entirety of Mos Eisley to explore and go do missions on, because I'm still bad faction with with the Hutts, and I gotta go do stuff now to get them on my good side. It's a big planet. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff here. But I do want to talk about the stealth-based aspect of this game, because I have, when I've been playing missions and you fail 3 or 4, 5 times in a row, it can start to feel a little frustrating. And there's a part of me that understands what some people are upset about. They're upset about, having to redo portions of something they've already, like, you spent 10 minutes, the game didn't quick save, or you couldn't quick save, there wasn't a checkpoint, and you lost your progress and now you have to go back and redo it. I get it, but that's just this type of game. Other games do it differently. We've played games like this in the past. I think some people have forgotten, going back to things like Prince of Persia as an example, or even Mario Brothers back in the day, like having to learn your way through a zone, and if you fail, you got to go back to the beginning and start it all over again. Some people will say, well, it's 2024. We shouldn't be doing that. Why not? Why can't we have some of that in this game? And the reality is that the forced stealth missions only make up a small portion of the overall gameplay loop that exists within Star Wars Outlaws. Like, I have done gun and run missions. Like, we just did a mission yesterday, and this is going to be spoiler alert. How do I do it spoiler free? Let's just say one of my companions was captured, and I had to go rescue them from Jabba's palace. That's what we did yesterday, and during the stream, and it was a very we decided to go John Wick style on things, which means I was not being stealthy. I was running, gunning it, and I've got all my blaster accoutrement and everything else that I need, so I'm able to run around and spray and pray and chuck grenades and smoke bombs and do all sorts of different things to get out of different scenarios. And I've got a separate video that I'm working on right now talking about one of the things I really appreciate. It was probably around the time I got to the second planet, but like 20 hours into the game, I finally started to feel like I'd finally started to get enough in terms of abilities that I was able to start feeling a little more powerful. And let me see if I can get out here into the countryside a little bit. And show you just a teeny weeny bit of what I'm talking about.
A giant trading caravan.
Without getting into anything stealthy or anything else. Let's hop off the speeder here. And at this point, I've got my rapid fire. This is my plasma. I got my rapid fire. It's amazing. And then I've got my explosives. Lots of different things I can do with this. And then in between this, I've got my smoke grenades that we can use.
Stay low, Nix.
We've got normal grenades that we can use. Oops. What is it? Oh, I've already used them. I don't have any more. I'm out of normal grenades. But I have lots of tools to get out of situations. And the reality is that stealth missions only make up a tiny portion of what the game has to offer. Most of the missions that I do, I get to do a combination of stealthing and shooting and throwing grenades and pulling things around corners, and there's a lot of variety to the way the game plays. Also, the missions aren't only ground-based. There are so many missions that take place in space within your ship, and those are absolutely not stealth missions. Those are you're shooting things, you're picking up shipments, you're delivering passengers, you're delivering goods, you're smuggling things, you're exploring planetary, space, you're exploring shipwrecks, asteroid fields, nebulas. Like the the forced stealth missions in this game, I would need to sit down and do the math, but I would argue that they are less than 5% of the total game that I have played so far. And I appreciate the fact that they're there because there are certain instances where, yes, you have to be stealthy. You would need to be stealthy in that situation because otherwise you would absolutely get overwhelmed and taken out. Kay is not a Jedi. Kay is a young, up and coming thief slash smuggler who's reasonably good as a hacker, reasonably good with a blaster. She's reasonably sneaky, but she's very much young and earning her way up. And I really hope this is the first of a trilogy of games for her, like we got with Cal Kestis, because this is a different Star Wars character, and I absolutely love the character that I'm playing here. Um, we can look at the map right now, and as an example, there are all these places we could go to that I have quests for, like the old Gunslinger quest that's in Hut Cartel territory. And because I'm bad rep with them right now, if I went in right now, I would need to sneak my way through or fight my way through. And if I fought my way through, I would lose reputation. That's part of the way this game works is the reputation system. So you can get caught trespassing, you could be caught disrupting, you could become kill on sight, you can become an ally, and they let you into their territory without any problems whatsoever. But all of the reps that you're doing are constantly changing because of the way you're doing missions. And the stealth-based missions, like I said, are just such a minuscule amount in terms of the rest of the content you're doing in this game. So I do get the people who say, I don't like to do forced stealth missions. That's fine, but it's totally within the character of Kay Vess. Like, she is a smuggler. She is not a soldier. It's not like playing Republic Commando where you've got, a squad of soldiers with you, and it's not like playing Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order where you're a Jedi with the Force as your ally and a lightsaber. You are a lonely, lowly, not lonely, probably lonely too. She's still early in her career. She's a lowly smuggler who has a blaster and a sidekick, a speeder, and a ship. And you can do so many different types of missions in this game. So many types of missions. My favorite are the ones where you start off on like a destination and they send you off to another planet or they send you to a space station and you go do a delivery and then that turns into something else and then you got to do a mission on a planet and then you got to go back into space and fight some guys in space and then you got to search some wreckage, you got to go to an asteroid field. There are these huge arcs in this game that have all these different types of missions associated with the storylines, and none of them have anything to do with forced stealth. You get to do stealth if you choose to do stealth. Um, so yeah, you're never going to hear me complaining about the forced stealth missions in that way because while I do get sometimes aggravated by the lack of checkpoints, I do think more checkpoints would be a great quality of life feature for Massive to add to this game over time. I do appreciate the fact that sometimes you need to shut up, put your blaster in its holster, hunker down, and find a way in that doesn't involve combat. That's part of who she is.
Oh,
That's
crap.
part of her
It's hot,
archetype.
Nix.
It's part of her storyline. Let's roll with it. That's what this type of game is. There are other games that do, combat in for the melee characters, or other games that do combat for the lightsaber characters, or other games where you get to be the soldier in space. And that's fine. Those games, no one is in those games complaining that, oh, I'm forced to use an automatic blaster in this This sucks. I want to be able to sneak and do assassin type stuff. Like, it doesn't work like that. This is a smuggler game. There's going to be stealth. It is what it is. I love this game. I'm having a great time. I know you're all having a great time as well. We've been curating a very cool community here who is enjoying this game and who are Star Wars fans at heart, who grew up with the franchise like I did from the time I was a tiny wee lad. And I can't wait to see more of you in the next stream we do. Daily streams happen at 11 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch. You can also watch the Let's Play episodes if you would prefer to do those in 30-minute chunks. And of course, I play a lot of different games, so check it out. I am a variety streamer and content creator. So we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Stay safe, happy gaming. May the Force be with you.